Hey everyone, my name is Nate with CSG, and I've been to multiple gaming conventions, and I want to talk about where the fun is at these places and where there's no fun at these places. So, to begin, over the past 4 or 5 years, I've been to 2 BlizzCons, I've been to 2 Las Vegas Magic the Gathering Grand Prix, I've been to a Comic-Con type thing in Houston, Texas, and then another one in Columbus, Ohio. So I've had my fair share of experience, and I want to talk about where the fun is and where the fun isn't. So let's begin with where the fun is. Conventions, and I think most people that have been to a gaming convention, there really isn't that much to do, and I was very surprised going to my very first one. I remember being shocked. Like, I thought there would be non-stop stuff to do, but you can go listen to a panel, and that can be exciting. That's really all there is to do. The rest of the time, you're just buying stuff, and that's where we get to where the true fun is in a convention, and that is going with friends. I have never been to a convention that didn't have friends. So I can honestly tell you, I would not go to a convention if I did not have friends to go with. I don't think that would be a very fun experience, so my advice to anyone that is eyeballing a convention, make sure you have friends to go with you, because there's not that much to do and it's not that exciting if you don't have friends. Of course, and I want to say here, I've never been to San Diego Comic-Con, and I've never been to PAX. Maybe those are completely different, and I'm sure some conventions will be different. It's good to see one at least once in your life, I would say. But there's so much fun at these places with friends, and I've had the most friends when I go to like my Las Vegas one at Magic the Gathering, or when I go to BlizzCon, and that's in Anaheim, California. Though I have so many friends at those, it makes for like some of the most memorable experiences in my life. And we're also at new cities. I live in Ohio, so I don't spend a lot of time in Las Vegas, but when I go on a trip there with friends, it's awesome. I don't go to Los Angeles very often, but when I'm in that like Los Angeles area and we can go to Anaheim, it's awesome to spend time there with friends. These gaming conventions, BlizzCon is a little bit of a standout because what you do at BlizzCon is you go hear about the new games. So that is something to do. There are big shows playing. And, you know, we talked about there are panels at the Comic-Con type of thing. And then when you go to Magic the Gathering, if you're there, you're really there for either the drafts or playing in the tournament or just to buy and sell cards. It's less of a convention, more of a tournament, but it is made up to be a convention. And the Magic the Gathering one is really like this because it's supposed to be kind of a big shop, essentially. That's what gaming conventions are as a whole. And I'm sure every one of you that has been to a convention knows that these things are really set up as just massive stores, and you can just buy and buy and buy and buy. If you've got money to spend, I'm sure a convention is a ton of fun, because that is 99% of what, especially the Comic-Con type of things, that is like everything going on. It's just a showroom, a show floor, I don't know, that is just full of booths. That's all it is. And I remember the one I went to in Houston, Texas. This is like one of the biggest convention centers I have ever seen in my life. There was not 2 feet of walking distance before you'd run into another booth. They packed the place full of merchandise, you know, and there's a whole bunch of comic books and, you know, the actual writers or the artists. And then there's random stands with, you know, fake medieval weapons, toys, and games and board games, and you know, everything that you'd see at a convention. Art is another big thing, and t-shirts, and so many t-shirts. These conventions are built as massive stores. That's one thing you do have to understand. And it's cool when you can sometimes go to one and there will be places where you can see something new. Like at a BlizzCon, maybe like Corsair will set up a stand or something like that. Not them specifically, but someone will set up a stand and you can go play games. Or I'm sure that you can do that at PAX and test a whole bunch of stuff. And gaming conventions are something very unique, and I do think that everyone should go. And if you are like a gamer and you consider yourself part of the gaming community, I do think it's something that you should go see at least once, but make sure that you schedule it with friends, because gaming conventions are really not that fun by themselves. If you were alone at one, I feel like you would kind of wish that you were just back home. At least that's just throughout my eyes. I mean, we're all different, but gaming conventions as a whole, I believe, are built to really be a centerpiece that's made for you to build your friends around. So you're supposed to plan around this event, have everyone go, and it's supposed to be a blast. It's really an excuse to go out with friends, is what a gaming convention is. Now, that excuse is supposed to make you spend a ton of money. That's why they're there. They want you to spend a lot of money, and it's really a good time. You know, I usually will go to a convention and I don't buy anything. I'm really there for friends, unless I see something that's like really sick. I really don't have a reason to buy anything because I have everything I need for my computer setup and my games. I'm happy with. I have plenty of gaming clothes. But you guys see me in my Nateson videos. I'm usually wearing leather jackets and plain t-shirts. But moving on to another fun side of a convention, at some of these, not all of them do this type of stuff, but you'll see a lot bring in like celebrities, whether it's a YouTuber type of celebrity. Like that's what Magic the Gathering does. They'll bring YouTubers, and you'll see pro players walking around the floor, and that's cool to go see them if you want an autograph, picture, whatever. You'll see that at Blizzcon as well with pro players and with YouTubers, and then you'll see that at Comic-Con. That's when you start to see more traditional Hollywood types coming, which can be really fun. I remember the one I went to in Houston, Texas, the people from the Houston Outlaws were there. But then when we talk about like big celebrities, there's, I think, I don't watch the show Game of Thrones, but apparently the girl who was like one of the main characters in that show was there signing autographs. And I remember seeing that was probably the longest line I've ever seen in my life. I mean, they locked off like half the convention center just to build up a line for people to go meet her or get an autograph or picture, and that's just insane. And I remember going to one in Columbus, and this is when The Walking Dead was really starting to pick up its stride. So we're like in season 2, season 3, back when it was actually a good show. Sorry guys, no hateful comments for that, please. It's all right, we can have a discussion about it. Common sense. I remember they had they had actors from The Walking Dead there. There was the guy that played Carl, who's a Twitch streamer now. They had, and it doesn't matter. And later they had Michael Rooker come out and do a panel, and he was really funny, and I listened to him. And that's where you can get some of the fun in a convention. If you were to go by yourself, that would really be the only way I feel like you could have fun, is sitting in on a panel, listening to a really famous actor talk, or going and meeting them if you want to stand in line and pay the $70 that's usually pretty steep prices to meet these big people. But there can be fun in that. But outside of that, and that's usually, you meet them, you're talking to them very shortly. You don't have a lot of time with them. And it'll be over just like that. And there is fun in there. But I just want people to realize, like, gaming conventions are really special in kind of their unique way. There is potential for fun if you go solo, but so much of it is a fun experience that is built around being with friends. And it's really supposed to be like a way to connect you with people that you typically have, like, play games with, that you maybe know online, and you can schedule to meet at this convention. And I think that's where the true fun in conventions are. And I believe I'm not alone, because talking to other friends, they meet each other at conventions when they live in completely different states and maybe have never even met before. Like that was the case for me when I went to my very first Las Vegas convention. It was me and another guy from New York, another guy from Canada, another guy from Alaska. So we're in multiple different states and countries there, all able to come and meet at one place, and it happened to be a game we all played and we knew each other from, Magic the Gathering, and it's a great way to bond with people, and that's where the true fun in a gaming convention is. The fact that you went to a gaming convention just to see what's there is not what's fun. What's fun is going with friends. Have a great day, guys. Take care.